This portion of the scheduled meeting of the Egg Harbor Township Committee is being videotaped and broadcast. Due to either technical reasons or topics for discussion that may be held in closed session pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, there may be interruptions in the videotape of these proceedings, and this meeting will be aired by EHT TV Channel 97 beginning tomorrow evening at 7 p.m.
Okay, very good. Could everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Cafaro.
Here.
Ellis.
Here.
Hodson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Here.
And Pepper.
Here. We have no presentations this evening, correct?
No.
Okay, ordinance, public hearing, ordinance number 19, Mr. Friedman.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 19 is an ordinance to amend Chapter 213 of the Township Code entitled Vehicles and Traffic, specifically 213-23. The purpose of this ordinance is to regulate the flow of traffic by creating four-way stop signs at the intersections of West Jersey Avenue, Ridge Avenue, West Jersey Avenue and Kate's Road, and Regina Avenue and Kate's Road. Riga and Kate's Road in the interest of public safety.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the public that would like to discuss ordinance number 19? Jerry, just your name and your city.
My name's Gerald Dixon, 242 Leap Street. I know I'm a day late and a dime short, but I was thinking there, we have Spruce Avenue and we have English Creek Avenue. Spruce to Ridge is, boom, you're there. If they put the light at Fernwood, or the four-way stop at Fernwood, it would give the school buses a chance to get out in the morning and in the afternoon, and it would break it halfway between Spruce and Ocean Heights. I mean, English Creek.
I know this, the police department recommended this area because of the amount of accidents.
Yeah, well, wouldn't that break it up so the stop sign on Fernwood would give the traffic on Ridge a chance to get out? The reason we have the problem there is because of the flow of traffic.
It's a flow of traffic.
But
Both ways. Unfortunately, it's both ways.
Yeah, that's my say for that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, would you like? Jerry, the way they're speeding, sometimes we might be having them on all the streets there down the road.
Yeah.
Good evening.
What's your name and city, please?
Edward Kurtz, I guess technically it'd be Cardiff, Fernwood Avenue. So daily, I travel the area that would be affected by this. My wife does as well, going the other direction. I would hope that there's an alternative that we could consider that would maintain the interest of public safety without being such a detriment to the flow of traffic going through that area.
Now, you're talking about the Riga in Kate's and the West Jersey in Kate's, or are you talking about Ridge and
So,
West Jersey?
personally, I drive to Vineland, so I would be
Going out.
yes. So I would be getting both on Kate's. My wife goes the other direction and would be hitting them on Ridge.
Okay.
I would definitely hope that you consider an alternative, maybe some additional signage around it, or possibly in the future an actual signalized stoplight, so that we could adjust the controls to the flow during the time of day. I often go through there at night and off hours. So when I travel the area, there really isn't much traffic. And I just ask that you consider the impact to the rest of the community that isn't traveling in peak hours.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else that would like to speak on ordinance 19? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Roll call?
Cafaro.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Hodson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
And Pepper.
Yes. Motion to adopt ordinance number 19.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please?
Cafaro.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Hodson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
And Pepper.
Yes. Ordinance 20, Mr. Friedman.
Ordinance 20 is an ordinance to vacate a portion of Cordry Avenue described by meets and bounds. The purpose of this ordinance is to extinguish all public rights to a portion of Cordry Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to talk about ordinance number 20? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Cafaro?
Yes.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
And Bromer.
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 20?
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Cafaro?
Yes.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
And Bromer.
Yes. Ordinance 21, Mr. Friedman.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 21 is an ordinance to amend the code of the Township of Egg Harbor, Chapter 89, entitled Construction Codes Uniform, specifically 89-4 Fee Schedules. The purpose of this ordinance is to amend and/or add fees associated with electrical, plumbing, mechanical, building, and fire permits. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address us on ordinance 21? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
I'll
Make a motion.
And I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Cafaro?
Yes.
Ellis?
Here.
Hodson?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
And Bromer.
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 21?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Roll call?
Cafaro?
Yes.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yep.
Pauls?
Yes.
And Bromer.
Yes. Ordinance introduction, number 22, Mr. Friedman.
Ordinance number 22 is an ordinance to vacate a portion of Evans Avenue as described by meets and bounds. The purpose of this ordinance is to extinguish all public rights to a portion of Evans Street. A public hearing on ordinance 22 at 24 will be held on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024 at 5:30 PM. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance number 22?
I'll make the motion for introduction.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call?
Cafaro?
Yes.
Ellis?
Here.
Hodson?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
And Bromer.
Yes. We have a resolution consent calendar, 396 through and including 406, but we are pulling 404. Does anybody have any questions? Seeing none, can I have a motion to adopt? Thank you. Can I have a second,
I'll
please?
second it.
Thank you. Roll call?
Cafaro?
Yes.
Ellis? Hodson?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
And Bromer.
Yes. Ordinance number 406, can I authorizing payment of all bills? Thank you.
407.
Go for it.
407.
And I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Cafaro?
Yes.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
And Bromer.
Yes. Approvals. Can I have a motion to approve the departmental reports for the month of July?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve payroll for the month of August 2024 in the amount of $2,469,262.55.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the Township Committee closed session meeting minutes of August 14th, 2024 pursuant to Resolution 394. Thank
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Cafaro?
Yes.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
And Bromer.
Yes. Motion to approve the Township Committee meeting minutes of August 14th, 2024.
So moved.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have an add-on resolutions, resolutions 409 and 410 that the administrator spoke to us about prior. Anybody have any questions on these two? No.
Just 410, it's good to see a spot for us to keep our rescue squad in the city of Summers Point since we do their service and have done it for a couple of years. It's going to work out pretty well for Summers Point.
Yeah, I think it will, and for our people too. And I have to say, for the people from Hearts that are here tonight, your program is outstanding. So what we can do to help, we're very happy to do so. Can I have a motion to approve 409 and 410?
I'll make that motion.
Roll call, please.
Cafaro?
Yes.
Ellis? Hodson?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
And Bromer.
Yes. Is there anybody in the public that would like to address the governing body on anything?
Yeah.
Go back, Jerry.
Jerry.
Make this short and sweet, hopefully. Main reason I'm here is the electric bikes. Is there no way we pass an ordinance that they have to have a light on the front and a reflector attached to the seat on the back. We're running down the street at nighttime, and these kids and adults are coming out, and you don't see them. So you're on top of them.
That's a good question.
State law.
That is state law?
It's a state law, it's a requirement.
Then how come we don't enforce it?
I don't have an answer for that one.
And Jerry, you've seen a lot of them. Those black electric bikes are doing 30 miles an hour.
I don't mind that. I have nothing to do with that. It's seeing them at
No,
night.
I'm saying they don't
Yeah.
have lights on them.
Yeah.
Ryan Road is terrible.
I mean, confiscate a few, and
Everybody's
maybe
nodding
they'll
in
do
there, So
something.
everybody sees.
So
this.
Jerry, what do you, I mean, I guess,
This is something we
you'll
can
have
address
to
with the
talk to the
police
chief.
department.
He's got to keep, the patrol has got to keep an eye out for that, so.
I mean, confiscate a few, and it'll,
It'll
if there's already an ordinance that covers it, that they have to have
It's a
lights.
state law.
State
so
law.
yes.
Okay, because,
Even bicycles, not just the
okay.
e-bikes.
Well, they don't, no, I mean, they're busy doing what they're supposed to do.
Well, you know what we can do, Jerry? We can actually do a social media campaign and put a couple graphics up and things like that and start blasting that out so people see it
Right.
and hopefully share it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good way to get the word
Yeah.
out.
No, there's a lot of them, Jerry. Every community has the electric bikes.
I know.
It's a matter of time
And
for
you
this
come down the
attraction.
street at night and all of a sudden you're on it before reflector on the back seat, attached to the back seat and a headlight.
Yeah.
The other one I have, over in West Atlantic City, we got two vacant, a motel and a whole apartment complex. The apartment is Venice Avenue. Is there any way that we can get funds from the state or the federal government to put senior housing in there or veterans housing in there or something? There's two buildings sitting there empty.
Well, they're
And-
privately owned, and that's.
But I mean, is there any way we can, whatever they have to do to foreclose on them or whatever?
There's a legal process for that, so if they don't meet the process for it, it's kind of hard to foreclose on them, but it's a conversation that can be had with the owners of the
Even the
properties.
owners, if they get subsidized, they
Are you
might want to
talking the
reopen
motel
them.
that's been stripped out totally, basically?
I don't know how bad they were,
And one of them's gutted,
Yeah,
so.
okay, I think that was it. Yep.
Thanks, Jerry. Just your name and town for the record.
Sherry,
For the record, just sorry for interrupting. We're leaving out street addresses because
Good
the
idea.
Daniels Law is a law that protects people when they give their address. People have been harassed, people have been stalked. So from now on, we're just going to ask for your name and your town of record.
I like that. Thank you. My name is Sherry Lilienfeld. I'm a resident of Margate. I realize you pulled Resolution 404 from the agenda. Can you please just explain what the technical problem was with it? Like, why was it pulled?
It was voiced to me that the committee want to review it more, and we have potential some language change in it, and since it was already published, it's not fair to put it in front of them tonight.
Okay.
With new language, because,
Okay.
new.
Okay.
The West.
So it might change.
It might change.
And they need time to review it, which is great, because that was going to be my point about that resolution. Regarding the language, there's specific language in there. Number 2 says to amend the permissible,
You know what, could you give me 1 minute? I'm going to pull it out of here so I can
look at
what
it.
you're talking about.
It was on page, what page is that, 23? No, anyway. It says under 2, amend the permissible principal uses for the redevelopment plan to include private utility facilities in section 6.4.1 development parcels. That language is, if my understanding is correct about how this all works, if that is amended, that's a permissible use. If one of the owners of some parcels wanted to do that, they would not have to come to planning board to bring their plan and be open to public comment if it's a permissible use in the redevelopment plan. How does it work if you change the language to make private utility facilities part of permissible use in terms of people being able to speak out about plans? Yeah.
Presuming that the governing body does in fact want to still have a redevelopment plan in West Atlantic City, any type of development that takes place in the West Atlantic City redevelopment area would have to go before the planning board.
So there's still an opportunity for any plan.
Any plan.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, just wanted to be sure that it was.
This plan is, I think it's 15 years old now, Mark?
It's 15 years since it was adopted,
And
yes.
so it's actually expired. So what we're doing is
Oh,
real.
okay. Well, you've seen us.
And we promised you the same thing at every meeting. We are hiding nothing, and
Okay.
when there's something to be heard, we'll make sure
We-
that everybody here knows.
We just want to make sure that, yes, that there will be a plan presented and that, yes, you take the time to review the plan and listen to both sides. You know, some owners bring their expert witnesses and we have our own. So we want proper opportunity for that.
You will.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I have one other thing. Speaking of redevelopment, this is not related to Atlantic Shores. I do commercial real estate on a national level. I work with big developers. I actually work with one developer that takes shopping centers that have been sitting for a really long time in non-prime urban areas, such as the one in Pathmark, the Pathmark Center, and there's the Kmart. I've actually emailed, I'm not going to say who, and called your office to just arrange a meeting for them to just talk to you about potentially bringing those shopping centers back to life in a way that revitalizes the city, bringing in income and revenue. And
Do you have a developer that wants to do it? Is that what you're saying?
he wants to talk. Well, there's certain parameters that they look for, and they also try to get the state funding and things like that. And they're very good at that. That's what they do. That's their business model. They do shopping centers in like areas that we're not a big prime, we're not Chicago or New York, we're Egg Harbor Township, but they take those centers and they bring in retailers and they really try to revitalize them. So I was asking for an opportunity to just get on a Zoom call with whoever would be appropriate.
Why don't you're going to call, not the developer.
I was going to call, set up the meeting.
Call our office tomorrow.
Okay.
Tell Ro, who will answer the phone, that you
Okay.
talked to me last night and
Okay.
you would like to do this.
Okay. Because I have called and I did leave a message, but now I'm going to tell her that you said take her call. Okay. I'm just trying to bring fresh ideas in here because, like I said, I see this going.
Have you spoken to the owner? I think his last name is Pagano. He owns that.
I've talked to him a long time. When I talked to him like years ago, he goes, "Oh, I have someone coming in. Yeah, I got it. I'm covered." So what happens is a lot of these owners, they're just not as sophisticated as they need to be to revitalize. It's been sitting for a long time, right? Like a long
I
time.
believe he owns several shopping centers. I'm not.
Yeah.
I guess your investors would probably want to sit down with him and his backers.
Yeah, eventually too. Yes, but they have a model that seems to work, and they've
You might
seen.
want to put, absolutely we'll hear it, but I think you really are going to want to reach out to him because that's private property
Yeah,
and it's
But
his
I-
property.
but I think there's some ways to get like funding, state and.
But he still is going to have to talk to the owner.
I get it. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
his first step.
I know,
You can
but
pitch an idea and a thought, but Mr. Pagano owns that property. We
is
don't
he
own it.
Pagano from Margate? I know I've talked to him. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I still would like to get on a call.
Call tomorrow.
I will call and speak to Ro.
Yes.
And thank you. But yes, taking ideas from what's working in other
You might want to
municipalities.
talk to Jerry because he's looking for a developer for West Atlantic City.
You know what? I got to tell you something. That hotel, I actually brought a developer to that. They wanted so much money.
That's what I figured.
He wants too much money. I'm very familiar with that property and that owner. He just wanted to, and that's the other problem. But maybe if it's in the redevelopment plan and there's pressure from the city, then maybe the owners would start listening.
Yeah.
So, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Name and city.
Jean Marie Drew from EHT. I did not intend to speak, but I'm hoping that you can explain item 20 for me, the language about this being, the purpose being to extinguish all public rights to a portion of Cordery Avenue. It's repetitive. It goes on to Evans Avenue too, on 22. I'm curious as to whether or not there, because I'm hearing a lot of this, that there is a private owner. Is there a private owner at all in this area of Cordery Avenue? And why is it being brought forth to extinguish the public rights? I just don't understand it.
Ordinance 20.
Ordinance 20.
Ordinance 20, thank you.
Right, and I bled over into 22 because the language repeats for Evans,
Okay, thank you.
although I'm more curious about 20. Really, I guess that was convoluted. Why is it on the agenda, and what is the intent? And of course, when you look at the map, you know, the hairs on my neck go up because it's so close to.
Documents from the township engineer, his letter's not in here. But typically, there's a piece of property that's useless to the township, and it's surrounded by other properties, and we'll vacate it in order to just expand other people's properties. To, you know, split the property in half.
So this is an island unto itself. It has nothing to do with anything else.
Nope.
It's not attached to any other reason. Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
It's a common request too that we get from people that have property like old roads, paper roads.
Okay.
There's a lot of paper roads in this town
Okay,
and that will never be developed because they're completely built around.
okay.
A lot of times they are vacated and then the property is split between the neighbors on each side of it.
Interesting. Okay. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Come on up, sir. Your name and city for the record, please.
John Friday, live in the Cardiff section of EHT. Didn't intend to speak either. Please forgive me. I have not exercised my civil privileges in all the 20. I've been here since 2003, so I'm not sure how this works. I hope I'm not out of order when I just ask these questions. I was happy to see the pledge. I heartily approve. Haven't seen that in a long time. So Directive 19. So because I'm not sure exactly how this works, is that closed now, or can I go back and talk about it briefly?
You can go.
It moved so fast for me, so I'm not used to
Oh,
this.
yes,
So.
the public comments closed, it's passed, so it's done. But you are free to talk about it if you'd like.
All I wanted to say was I wanted to echo what Mr. Kurtz said. I also work odd hours. I do take that. I work for Lennox here at Electric and Mays Landing. I take that road every day on the way to work. 4:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, and on like the same 5 cars in 20 years have been on that road the whole time. So if a solution includes something like a traffic light, I would echo his statement that it maybe consider the fact that it should be timed for traffic or a sensor like they have at New York, because New York and
Route 40?
yeah, when that light is for me, especially in the morning, it stays red forever until you pull up, and then it changes. So something like that would be. I know it's going to add cost, but it would be useful. Either that or a blinker. Something should be done. I agree. I'm not sure our traffic lights the best, but if so, then that. And then the only other questions I had was so I can get better at this. What is EHT TV? What channel?
Channel 97.
97. Is that on all the time, or is it just certain time?
It's on the time. You get school things on there, you
Oh,
get township
great.
things on there, public notices,
Great.
all kinds of different information. can
And
be
then,
had.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
Nope.
So then, and also, where do I find all these resolutions before and after? Like the agenda?
You can go to ehtgov.org.
Uh-huh.
They're out the Friday before a meeting.
Mhm.
The agendas are posted.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes. And right now, we're just doing 4-way stops on those roads,
Okay.
not a light yet.
Oh, okay, so that's what is been resolved.
Right, right now it's just 4-way stops.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
And the 4-way stops seem to be working very well at Mill and Ridge. And that's why we're trying this. That West Jersey Avenue, sometimes he's 100% right. At early hours, there's nothing out there.
No.
But today, the backups we're experiencing, there's a couple issues. One, if there's a light signal, it can be timed better.
Right.
Okay. You know, Ocean Heights Avenue in front of the golf course, it goes back for miles because of the volume and the timing. And sometimes this is our area, but if you got the county, they gotta come out and retime those lights or put the motion sensors on there. Because you can sit at New York Avenue and 40, and if you don't pull up, you're gonna be there all
Take it
night.
every day, so yeah.
Then you know. And depends on what time you hit it too, so.
Yeah.
Can I speak again in response to Mr. Hudson's comments?
Sure. Just your name again for the record.
Edward Kurtz. Minor comment around Mill and Ridge. Personally, I have observed multiple issues at that intersection of people running stop signs. The only thing that I believe that has addressed is the fact that it is not resulting in collisions, but there is still the disrespect for the stop signal there. And I would expect that
If we
to.
could find a way to stop that in all of Egg Harbor Township, we would all be better off, that's for
But do
sure.
you think it's helped in collisions?
I assume so. I haven't been
Well, I think it has,
driving.
but- okay.
I haven't been driving since it's
Okay.
before that. But
It's also slowed down the traffic. So if you're coming straight on Ridge, on
Yeah.
Mill, it actually has slowed that traffic down because they know, I'm not saying they all stop,
right.
but it does slow the traffic down and it does help.
Yes, understood. I just want a point for the record.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the governing body? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
So moved.
Thank you. Roll call, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Township committee reports. Mr. Pauls.
Nothing this month.
Nothing this month. Mr. Ellis.
Nothing. Yeah.
Mr. Hudson.
Well, I was gonna make it 3 in a row. It's been a pretty quiet time for our fire departments, minor stuff. We've had a lot of loose wires because of the wind and so forth, but I appreciate the fall weather. I did not enjoy the heat this summer.
Can you give us an update on the golf tournament?
Okay. September 19th, we have our annual Teal for Veterans at McCullough's Emerald Links. It's the 14th year, and all those funds raised goes to veterans issues in our area, county home, and so forth. So if anybody would like to come by, it starts at 8 o'clock with a large cannon fire, and our fire department will have, that usually clears the geese and
And it
birds.
is a cannon. It's a
And
real
it's a
cannon.
cannon, and our fire department from Scotland will have the flag flying. And over the years, we successfully have done some real good work at the Veterans Home. We replaced all those beds that were probably left over from the Second War. And so that's where the money that's raised goes to. Scholarships and various other things throughout the years. So if you want to play golf, come at 8 o'clock, there's the tee off. If you don't want to play golf, you can certainly stop by at around 1 o'clock when there's lunch and just say hello. Most of all the services are represented there. They do contribute and help us. And I guess, I don't know what else I can say about it. It was started 14 years ago with our former mayor, McCullough, who had an interest in doing something for the veterans. It started Wounded Warriors, it's changed over to TO for Vets. And we help, it goes to a lot of veteran processes in the county along with the state. We do donate on behalf of this township, or this golf outing.
And he won't say this, but I'll say this. We're gonna be recognizing Paul Hudson at that golf tournament for his military service and all the work he's done.
Oh, I didn't want it, because I look at my service as pretty menial in the sense, but I spent 33 years, 4 months, and 28 days as a lieutenant colonel in the 78th Division in Fort Dix, New Jersey. But that aside, they pressured me a couple of years, and I kept putting it off, and hopefully, I was hoping they forgot this year. But I did go through basic training in 1972 at Fort Dix, New Jersey, and was all over this country as a reservist and activated during Desert Storm. If anybody remembers that, thank God for George Bush Sr. We didn't stay active too long because of what happened in the desert with our great Norman Schwarzkopf to be able to handle that mission. But I'm humbled by it. I didn't really want it, but that's a fact. I spent time in the Army.
No, we appreciate all the work you do. Yes, sir. Yes.
See, you
Don't
didn't
say
tell me.
anything.
You didn't tell me that. So I guess we gotta save up some money and go.
Yeah, basically come by.
Like I
Nothing's
said,
free.
our last committee meeting about the traffic and the accidents, over 1,100 accidents since January. Yesterday, I was with a friend and they're taking a granddaughter to get a new car from car dealerships and said, can you go? Because a lot of people are afraid of dealers in these car dealerships. So we were on our way there, and right in front of Shore Mall yesterday, a major accident. I mean, major accident. People are not paying attention. Everybody's in a hurry to see. You're only gonna say 2 to 3 minutes. And the little girl was scared to go get a car after that. Please, folks, respect the lights, respect the signs, respect yourself and others. You know, it's out of control. Some of the driving habits and patterns in this town. For a little town like this, you're only gonna go to the light. You know, if you can't wait another 5 minutes, something's wrong. You know, and it's very scary. Like I said last time, we don't have the problem Philly had. You're scared to go outside, you might get shot. But we scared to drive. You are scared to drive, and now that we in these older days, I don't like driving at night. You don't know what's coming at you. And like with the little bicycles, it should be enforced because that's for their protection. You know, you on these little scooters and they zip in and out. When they become a hood ornament, then you're going to feel bad and everybody's crying. But we could have prevented it. So more enforcement have to be done for helmets and respect for those bicycles.
That's true.
Just to add to Mr. Ellis, I spent time as a police officer. The one thing that aggravates me the most is the misuse of the horn. Everybody's in a damn hurry. The horn is an emergency device that, God forbid, to warn somebody of a potential problem. These people that sit in line and because you didn't move in that split second are blowing on the horn. I haven't played with the state statute lately, but there's one that applies to them. It's not just to be, I'm impatient and please move.
Mayor, he said he spent time as a police officer. I spent time too. We had horns. See, he had horse and buggies back then. He was back in the old days when they had a horse and buggy.
That's it.
Mr. Gafaro, you gotta follow that.
We had horns. Yeah, get up, Betsy.
All right, Mr. Gafaro, you're up.
Thank you, Laura, thank you. I just wanted to mention that, you know, autumn's in the air and we have the beautiful nature reserve. That's 220 acres. It's out off the Zion Road. And we also have 525 acres in what we're called the Zell Conservation Area behind the Shore Mall. We're getting that up and running. Hopefully within the next few months, we'll have a parking area and some signage. So take advantage of this beautiful weather that's, you know, going to be coming along, and we have those amenities for you. Thank you.
Very good. And I have two things here. One is on September 14th, we have the Fall Shredded event at the Public Works Garage. It is from 9 to 12, Township residents only. But it's a great way to get rid of your secure documents. You just pull up, they take them, they shred them right there in front of you. There's a big truck. It's a great way to do it. So that will be September the 14th, 9 to 12. On September 11th, the ceremony honoring those that fell and died on that day will be held at the Bargaintown Firehouse. And that is at 6 o'clock I forgot to write the time down. It's at 6. And there's a piece of steel there from New York, and they do a beautiful tribute. All of our fire companies do, but this year it's Bargaintown's turn and they do a spectacular job. So that's open to the public and it's a great thing to come out for. And the last thing I want to say is school starts tomorrow for all of our kids in EHT. So we want to wish all of them, and I got the enrollment figure this afternoon. Right now we have 7,996 kids enrolled. And I guarantee you they got a couple more since they gave me this number around 11 o'clock this morning. So that's close to 7,700 kids, and then there's almost 3,000 staff between all the buildings. So tomorrow morning there'll be 10,000 people on the road all heading to our schools. So when you're traveling, going back to giving yourself a few extra minutes to get to work, to get to where you're going, you're going to need it in the morning because the buses will be out in force. But we want to wish all of them, the teachers, the staff, and all the kids and all the families, a very happy and successful school year.